Hey Bible lovers, I'm Tim Nichols, and I'm here to bring you your Nichols Worth. And if you've been paying attention recently, Evangelical Bibles, which publishes Schuyler Bibles, put out a poll on Twitter polling their audience, asking them whether or not they felt it was a good idea in order for them to publish some more economical options of their text blocks. And the overwhelming vote has been yes, that people would like to see that. So I'm going to give you two reasons why I think it's a good idea for Schuyler to do this, and I'm also going to give you two reasons why I think it's a bad idea. So let's go ahead and start with the two reasons I think it's a good idea. Reason number one is because their text blocks are quite popular, and some of them are actually pretty unique. When it comes to the Treveris, having that option where it's laid out in a reader's paragraph format, but it has those beautiful drop caps and the verse numbers on the inside column along the gutter, so you can kind of know your spot. It's pretty innovative and it's a nice layout, and it's really not available anywhere else. In the case of the Stridon, there are several single column verse by verse layouts, but none of them have the referencing and note system that the Stridon has, where it has the notes and the references on the bottom, separated by a line, with the references toward the gutter on the page and with the notes on the outside of the page. I do admit that is a very nice, a very unique style when it comes to the NASB 2020 and the ESV and the upcoming NKJV. To have those text blocks available at a lower price point, because right now Schuyler Bibles can be anywhere from $220 to $260 depending on which cover choice you choose. When it comes to the Quintel, there are other Quintel type text blocks, so that one may not be as desirable and sought after, but still there are going to be some people that want that Quintel, especially with the new layout where they have the drop caps. The recently released ESV, and of course we have the RSV and we have the NLT, all with those new drop cap systems and the smaller font dropping down from an 11 to a 10. These are going to be quite desirable. Now, one of the questions that would come to mind is, are they going to offer the art gilding as well? Or are they going to leave the page edges plain like some of your other publishers do? There are several publishers that offer a premium option and a non-premium option, and the non-premium option often comes with a little bit lesser quality paper, and ultimately doesn't have that art gilding. But they are very popular rebind candidates, which is going to be my number two reason that I think this is a good idea for Schuyler. As you can see, I've got two covers here, and these were both rebound. Now this one I actually traded, and this one I actually had rebound for myself. This is the NKJV Quintel. This is the NASB Quintel. One thing that really makes Schuyler stand out is their commitment to quality materials. Some of their newer covers are actually very nice. The aniline calfskin that they're using is actually pretty impressive, and some of them even say up to a rebind quality level. But still yet, people will spend in excess of $200 to buy a Schuyler and have it rebound. People that do that, generally speaking, save for a long time, or they have an income that allows them to have this as a hobby. Everyone has a hobby they spend money on. Some people spend money on rebinds. Others spend money on hunting equipment, video games, you name it, and Bible rebinding is quite the hobby. It's one I've taken on. Thankfully, my platform allows me to be able to do it because some rebinders actually send me one for a review, and then others I will use Amazon affiliate funds in order to pay for the rebind. So my channel generates the income or the influence necessary. It enables me to do that, and it doesn't cost me as much as it would cost some. So two very solid reasons, some very unique text blocks that no one else makes, and they're already very popular rebind candidates. So if you have one that's a cheaper option, then those that want the rebinds are definitely going to go for those cheaper options. Here's an example of one that I had rebounded, the NKJV Quintel. This was rebound by Resurrection Rebinds in the natural double shot cowhide. Really nice. I absolutely love it. And one of the benefits of getting one rebound is you don't have to add the art gilding. You just switch out the cover. Very simple. So now I want to talk to you about a couple of reasons I think it's a bad idea for Evangelical Bible to dive into the more economical Bible covers. Reason number one is because their primary audience is those that want those high-end Bibles. Let's be honest, not a whole lot of people are rebinding Schuyler's. You see one occasionally. These are people that have hobby money to play around with, and it's not your average ordinary person. Average ordinary person, they want a Schuyler Bible because of the reputation they have for producing premium Bibles. And I believe one of the largest reasons for Schuyler's success has been because of their commitment to these high quality materials. So really, in making these more economic choices, the only ones they're going to appeal to are those that probably want rebinds. You're not going to get the average person to spend the money on a Schuyler Bible that's probably still going to be a little bit pricey. Now granted, this is only an idea phase, so we don't know exactly if this is going to happen, and we don't know exactly what it's going to look like. But one thing they have expressed is a commitment to not use Chinese binderies, which means that the cost is still going to be a little bit elevated. I think we can use Cambridge as an example. Even some of Cambridge's more economic choices are still quite pricey in comparison. One thing that really sets Schuyler apart is they make a lower volume. They don't print as many as others. When it comes to the case of those like Thomas Nelson, Zondervan, Lockman, those who produce large volumes, where they produce a bunch of text blocks, and they put various types of covers on them based on people's economic needs, Schuyler probably is not going to have that advantage. They're a smaller company. They're not going to be producing larger runs, so that means that even in their more economical Bibles, they're still going to be a bit pricey. If I were guessing, they'd probably be around $100, which is still going to put a lot of people out of the market. And I'm just not sure that's Schuyler's market. They've advertised themselves as being premium, and I think that's where their audience is. Most people have never even heard of Schuyler. If I mention them in most circles outside of the premium Bible groups and the people that watch my channel, most people have never even heard of Schuyler Bibles, so they're not going to be looking for an economical deal. If you've heard of Schuyler, you know what they're about, you know what you want, you know what you're after, you want one, and ultimately, the only person that, in my opinion, is going to buy a more economic block are those going after the rebinds. Second reason I think this is a bad move for Schuyler is because the non-premium Bible market is already absolutely saturated. Every publisher already does it. The only publishers I know of that do not produce non-premium Bibles are Schuyler or Evangelical Bible, Allen, and Humble Lamb. So those three are really dominating that market. And really what you need to do is do what you do well and stick with that. When you start spreading yourself too thin and start trying to do too many things, I think that will actually dilute your market. And what's going to happen is they're not going to gain new customers as a result of this. But customers that would buy their more expensive Bibles are now going to buy their cheaper Bibles in order to, as I've said many times in this video, get them rebound, so at the end of the day, it's going to cost Schuyler money, not make them money. Another thing that I really want to address in this video is that the idea that Royal Youngblood doesn't have the problems that some of these Chinese and other Bible printers do. I have many examples of Royal Youngblood printed Bibles that I'll show you. For example, in this ESV diadem, you can see that the pages were miscut. It's all kind of wonky and out of whack. Also, check out this RSV Quintel. That's all wonky and out of whack in a couple of places. And in the case of the most recent ESV Quintel, there were places in the text, as you can see here, where it was lighter in some places and darker in others. So simply going with the Royal Youngblood is not a guarantee that you're going to get a better product, but you're going to pay more for it, even if it has a lesser quality cover. So I think what Schuyler needs to do is stay in their lane, which is the premium space, and let your other publishers that produce large volume stick with the non-premium options. Now I know this may not be a popular opinion because many of you want Schuyler to produce a lower end Bible with that same nice text block, but I'm going to be honest, the 28 GSM paper, I do not like it anyhow. If they're going to go with a more economical option, I'd really like to see them go with thicker paper. Now that is something I could get on board with, but they're committed to the 28 GSM paper, which I admit is pretty remarkable when it comes to a ghosting standpoint when it's so thin, but it's also very difficult to grasp, very difficult to turn the pages. So for me personally, there's two good reasons. Number one, unique text blocks. They are going to appeal to those that want to get custom work done. But in the past, Schuyler has actually expressed disdain for getting Bibles rebound, especially theirs, and they went to the defense of Cambridge. When Cambridge kind of put their own foot in their mouth about the diadem and not wanting to get that rebound, I'll put that video on the end screen where I did the Rebel Bible. But at the end of the day, this is just a fun video. I don't have a strong opinion one way or the other. If they were to make more economic options, I'm sure that would make some people happy, but it's not going to get them any real new audience. Their name simply isn't big enough to really tap into that market. The advantage of premium Bibles is that you can charge a high premium for them, and for a small operation like Evangelical Bible, that's a perfect model. When it comes to non-premium versions, really in order to make it worth it, you got to bring that price tag way down, and I don't think Schuyler is going to be able to do that. I still think we're talking about probably around $100, and to be honest, you can get another premium Bible from Thomas Nelson Zondervan, Holman, also known as Lifeway, and Lockman for the same price. And honestly, you're going to get better paper. So there are my thoughts. Let me know yours. God bless you. Keep calm. Jesus on. This is your Nicholsworth.